plenty. We're good. Hello and welcome. That must be, you have all been very, very on time for this. So well done and thank you. Let's have a little look through. We've got 8 pages of people. Is that it? Is it only 8 pages of people? Gosh, can't believe it. 686 people fit onto 9 pages. Hello, Helen. Hello, Rosie. Hello, Ruthie. Hello, I've not seen Ruth for a while. Hello, nice to see you. Give me a wave if you're brand new so I can shout you out. Oh, hello, Per. I've not seen you for a while either. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Ruth. Assumpta, amazing name. Give me a wave if you're new. Lorna, Beverly, Sally, Linda, Sarah, Nicola. Go on, let's look at page 12. Covadonga, lovely to see you. And we've got a couple of people who are here with multiple people on one screen. We've got full household involvement. Hello to Ulf. Hello to 58B. God, that joke never gets old, does it? Jackie Young. Yeah, I got really excited. Hello. And give me a wave, stay-at-home choir veterans. Who am I seeing? Oh, Rosemary's here. Hello. We've not talked for a while, have we? And Ruth, Elizabeth Slater, Juliet, nice to see you. Jamie, who can you see to say hi to?
Good question. I'm looking at everybody. Hello, Margaret. Hi, Heather. Hi, Max's iPad. Hello, Anne. Hello, Velda. Hello, Brian. Hello, Thomas in what looks like a tavern background. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Mia. I hope that's wine, Mia. Hello, Heather. Hello, Per. Hello, Julia. Oh, it's good to see you all. Some of you have got some lovely, colourful backgrounds. I'm looking, Sandra, that's a very vibrant yellow. Some of you, you've got just what looks like orange light bulbs in your bedroom. My light bulb makes me look like I'm wearing lipstick every now and then. But there you go.
But we love you for it, Jamie.
Lovely to see you all. I'm not today, however. Maureen,
can I say hi to James Liddy? He's got his entire family with him on Zoom. James, are you there?
Hi.
Hi. Do you mind if I spotlight you quickly so everyone can say hello?
Hello. Hi. Hello.
I love this full family participation.
Yes. Jamie,
so you all keen singers?
I could clear the Albert Hall in about 30 seconds, but the rest of the family can sing.
Amazing. I'll take that. Horses for courses. You've all got your own specialist skills. And
yes.
Have you come here from GBHC? Are you new to stay-at-home choir? Is this the first time you've joined us for a session?
Yes. This is our first time joining you. Yes.
We did do one with Gareth Malone.
Great. You're very welcome. Nice to see you, and thank you for joining. I'm guessing you're not all called James.
No. I'm Richard.
I'm Alison.
Lovely to meet you both. And thank you very much for joining us. Right.
Pleasure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, lovely to meet you. If it's your first time, welcome back. If it isn't your first time, gosh, we've been doing this for more than a year now. And we are here today with a very special guest who is going to be introducing a brand new piece, which he has written especially for us. If you have already logged onto the website, you will have seen the learning resources, including a fabulous recording by the Swingles, of whom my partner in crime, the wonderful Jamie Wright, is the baritone and vocal percussionist.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I've been spotlighted. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Carry on, Tori. We're here, and we are now going to be joined by the wonderful Gareth Malone, who I'm going to spotlight, who's going to give us an introduction to the piece and a little rundown of some things to bear in mind. So this session is going to work in 3 or 4 parts. To start with, we're going to have a welcome from Gareth. There he is.
Hello, I'm here. I was hiding, watching.
Screenworks. So we're going to have an introduction followed by a warm-up and a sing-through. We're then going to look at a couple of key tricky areas. Now, you've got the learning tracks for your note bashing and your actual rehearsal. So please make sure that you're listening to those learning tracks to learn your parts. these sessions tend to work at a slightly higher level. We want to use Gareth's expertise whilst we've got him in the room. So we're going to be looking at technique, we're going to be looking at what he wants in terms of interpretation and really getting under the skin of the piece. We'll have an opportunity for some questions at the end, and the whole session is recorded and it'll be available so you can watch him, rewind him and watch him again if you so wish. And don't forget that you can log on to stayathomechoir.com to access the score and all of the resources. And the last thing I need to say, Gareth, before I hand over to you, is that we do turn the chat on and off because some people aren't able to disable notifications. So if you can't post in the chat, you will be able to send a message to the host, but it's nothing personal. It's just to make sure that we don't disrupt the flow of the session. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. And here is the wonderful Gareth Malone.
Hello, thank you very much. Well, I'm going to start by just thanking you, Tori and Jamie, for having me and for asking me to do this. And I was so amazed during that beginning first lockdown, those first few weeks. I think so many of us in the choral world had the idea of doing stuff online, and we all grappled with the technology. And I just think what you've done is just so incredible over the last year and given voice to so many people. So it's really great to be part of this. And I know that there's a lot of people who are joining tonight from the Great British Home Chorus, which I ran for 53 rehearsals. Hello, something like that, which was aimed at getting families, getting lots of people involved. It was popular songs. We did a few pop songs and in choral arrangements. So it's really nice to come here, and I know that you've got lots of people who perhaps coming to choral music for the first time, but also lots of seasoned singers as well, as evidenced by your brilliant online videos that I've already seen. So when I came to write something for you, it was a tricky thing because I wanted to write something that would be accessible by everyone who has maybe just sung with me in the Great British Home Chorus, but also would be a little bit of a choral challenge, and something that would sum up my feelings at the moment, I guess, after a year of this tedium and difficulty that we've all been through. So I sat down at the piano and I just started thinking about, I started with boredom, really. And that's how the piece was born. It just sort of started with this, and that kind of goes through the whole piece. And I wanted it to be really simple, so I C major. It's like the first key that everyone learns on the piano, and those are the two most obvious chords that you learn. The tonic, and when we're going to go away, we're going to go here. Oh no, we're stuck at home because it's locked down. And you'll notice if you listen to the whole piece, it never actually resolves. So we end on this chord. And we're just sort of left hanging because lockdown hasn't finished, really. We're still in the middle of it. But along with that, I wanted the soul of the piece to kind of soar, and for us all to have an opportunity to do what you have done so well on those other pieces, really just sing out in your spaces and become part of something bigger than ourselves. Excuse me, because that's what I'm missing. It's that opportunity to interact with people, and I don't need to tell you that. So when I was thinking about text, I came to Locus Iste because Locus Iste is about this place is sacred. This place is sanctified by God. It is inestimably perfect. It is wonderful. It is a holy place, if you like that. So that's what the text means, and it's used in the consecration of churches. So it's almost like a sort of spell. I think of it like an incantation that kind of casts a magic over a space. And I wanted to do something for you and for me that would do something like that in our spaces that we have had to create because we can't get into those inspirational cathedrals or churches or wherever it is that you do your rehearsals ordinarily. So it's about that. It's about bringing the sacred, the spiritual, even the divine into our spaces and sort of claiming that virtually. That's why it's Locus Iste. If we're going to get really one last bit of nerd chat, which is that it's largely based on the pentatonic scale, which is 5 notes, and that's because there's 5 of us in our house. So there we are. Yeah, this is my wife, my first daughter, my son, and my other daughter. So there we are.
Is there any reason why each one of them is a particular degree of
Well, actually, yeah, because we've got Esther, and then we've got Devora. But I'm sorry, it runs out there because there aren't many B's in it for Bertie. But there we are. But we do have, we've got Gilbert, so that works, and Gareth, but we don't have a C. And my wife's called Becky. I've ruined the whole plan. That would have been really good, wouldn't it? Next time I'll think about it that carefully. Anyway, so, but I wanted it to be very simple. I also wanted it to be very serene. And that is one of the challenges of the piece, is that it's both simple, but actually quite sustained. And well, Jamie, you sang it. Was it all right?
Took me a few run-throughs.
Right, there we go. It took him a few run-throughs. He's in the swingles. In fact, I did get a slightly... I recorded the piano here on this piano, my Yamaha. And I did it a bit too slowly at first, and I got this slightly panicked message from Jamie going... So I re-recorded it at a more appropriate time. So hopefully it's a good speed. I'm really happy with the speed now. It's got a little bit of energy, but over the top, we need these long flowing lines. And they need to be alive. I'm sure that's something you talk about a lot. They need to be alive. They need to go somewhere and travel, but at the same time be very kind of still. So it needs to be a church built on solid foundations. It can't be it can't be up here. It's got to be built properly. And then I should mention, I think that's everything I need to say from a sort of artistic point of view. I mean, it has a crescendo in the middle. All my pieces usually have a crescendo in the middle. I always like that about Miss Rossini, who wasn't his nickname Mr. Crescendo. And I just always thought that's a great nickname. Build, start soft, build, and then end. I think that's a great way to do.
For life, that's it.
That is life right there. That is right. That is how music. So that's the idea. It builds. Actually, it has a slight. I mean, it's the lockdown. It's got a slight dip in the middle, but then we've got this big bit. And we're going to look at this later. This large section at bar 55, 56, 58, the up tempo there, where I'm kind of going like this, bashing away up there with this big sort of choral sound, and there I am. I suppose I'm thinking about the Fauré Requiem. It's that. I can't think which bit it is, bum, 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 that bit, that section. And I wanted it to be in unison because that's the thing. There's a sort of immediacy about unison singing, and that I'm really missing. I love it in a piece when all the voices come together. So that's why we come there. On Adeo Factus Est, we break into harmony, but we've just got that, just that lovely sort of unison sound and a moment for the men there. Just before that, we do have a little solo, and we are going to have a little solo competition, but more of that I think in a few rehearsals time. So don't panic. Just have a think about whether you want to go for it. And that is just in bar 56. It's probably going to be a soprano that's going to want to do that rather than a bass. But yeah, that immediately after that you get the men. So there we are. Tori, Jamie, have I said everything I need to say about L'existe?
Yeah, absolutely. The solo competition, guys, we are going to give you all of the information in a couple of weeks' time. So put it out of your mind for now. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. So you can maybe practice, 2 notes a week by the time we give you the information. It's not going to be very difficult, but we will be listening to everybody who sends in a submission if they'd like to. And also, it's worth saying that we may choose one voice, we may choose a group of voices, that all blend and fit together and produce the right sound that Gareth likes. So it might not just be one voice, it might be a few. But all information to come, please fret ye not. That information will come soon. Right. So we'd love to hear how it sounds and sing it through all together. But before we do that, we've got to have a warm-up.
We do. So I'm going to do a warm up now. So if you went through the Great British Home Chorus, then you'll know lots of my warm ups. So we're going to do a couple of those. So if you don't know them, hopefully
I'm really looking forward to it, Gareth.
It'll be fun. I'm going to just raise up my mic so you can hear me. But right, we're going to start. I'd like you all to stand up. I hope you're a standing uppy sort of group. But let's get up on our feet. So I call this sevens, and it starts with head. Or you can really see I caught the sun today. I actually went out. You can really see am I bright red. Head clap, shoulders clap, knees clap, feet clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, got it? So head, shoulders, knees, toes, basically. And this is just to get the blood flowing and wake us all up a little bit. That's it. I can see people standing up. Brilliant. So we have 7 claps at the end. So let's try that again. So head, clap, shoulders, clap, knees, clap, feet, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head, clap, shoulders, clap, knees, clap, feet, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're just going to speed that up as we go. If you are with somebody else in lockdown, then you can do their heads, their shoulder, their knees, and their feet.
We're looking at you, Jamie, and family.
Yeah, and then it gets really quite chaotic. But the idea is to kind of really get the energy going, and it's kind of a dip down. It's a little bit of a Joe Wicks moment, everyone. We're getting a little bit of a squat. Let's get those big muscles involved. Here we go. And head, clap, shoulders, clap, knees, clap, feet, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head, clap, shoulders, clap, knees, clap, feet, clap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head, shoulders, knees, feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head, shoulders, knees, feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Head, shoulders, knees, feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stop. Very good. Okay, give your hands a little shake. Shake out some of that tension from the day. Really important to be free when we're singing something like this. Moving and not still. We talked about the phrases moving. We don't want a locked body. Let's just give the shoulders a little workout. I like to do shoulders in opposite directions. It's one of my party tricks, isolating the shoulders. There we are. Come on, Tori, you can do it. That's it. No, she can't. We're going to isolate the chest. Just do that side to side and around in different directions. Warm all of that up. Let's do a bit of hula hula. I say hula hula, but I've never done a hula. I've never been able to do it. There we are. Nice big circles. And just give your legs a little shake as well. Try and shake out those calf muscles and thigh muscles. Good. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit on breath. So just feel your hips, and just above the hips, we've got here the oblique muscles, a little squidgy bit there, and give it a little cough. And just make sure that pulse is translating right to here. You might want to just jab in like that. And if you are with someone else, you can have a little feel. So it's quite good to stick a pencil in, sort of do that. I'll put the rubber end, by the way. That's a razor end for the American viewers. There we are. Another place you can feel it is here. You can go psh, 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 psh. And let's go zzz, zzz, I can take the focus off my torso. I'm back onto my face. Here we are. And what's really important with a piece like this, if you don't get the breath set up right, then you're really sort of stuffed by the time you get towards the end of it, because it's going to require a little bit of stamina. So let's really make sure that we're recovering after the breath. So you're going, and those muscles are getting used, and then you're releasing them. and letting the air just drop in. I'm crouching slightly so that you can see. I'm going to move back so I can demonstrate a bit better. But so we're going to take the air in. The belly button's going to go back. Then we're just going to release. Good. So just that recovery, focusing on that recovery when you're doing long phrases. So let's now try doing some tss, and then letting that recovery happen. Ready? Here we go. Breathing in and and everything goes splat. I mean, I think almost like as if you're taking a large gulp of water. So the air comes really in. Nice fast motion just drops in. Let's try that one more time. Here we go. And breathe. Good. Okay. So I'm just going to come back to my keyboard now. Over here. And you can sit down. And I think I'm going to share a little warm-up with you that we can do this over the weeks. I don't think I did this with Great British Home Chorus. So this is a first for many of you. Right, hopefully you can see this worksheet. Can you all see that? Tori, is that? No, that's not good, is it?
Zoomed in.
It's disappeared. Did it disappear?
I can see it. It's a little zoomed in though.
Ah, hang on. That's weird. Says my screen, resume share. There it is. How's that?
Gotcha.
Yeah? Can you all see that? So this is called Around the Intervals, and this is a nasty little workout for your voice. The idea of it is that we want to be able to sing all these different notes going from high to low in our voice without any of this apparatus getting disturbed. So all of the voice and the tone stays nice and solid and connected to that breath, but we're letting the voice move around. So it goes like this. I'll sing it to you. It goes 1 2 1 and 1 2 2, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3, 1 2 4 and 1 2 5, 1 2 6 and 6 7 8. So we've got each note of the scale 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we're just going up, and we're always coming back to the tonic. Now, stop me if I'm saying things you already know, but you know that the vocal folds inside are really teeny tiny, really, really small. And it's very tempting sometimes when we go for that high note, which is one of the phrases I really hate. It's very easy to kind of make the whole thing a huge physical business. And yes, of course, it is about the body being in the right place. But the actual voice itself is tiny, is a little movement. So the difference between ah and ah is minuscule in here. It might require more breath, and it might require a different approach in the rest of the body, but here, really, really small. So this is about getting that small movement. 1 2 1 and 1 2 2, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3, 1 2 4, and always coming back neatly to the tonic. So let's try that. Here we go. And 1 2 1 and 1 2 2, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3, 1 2 4 and 1 2 5, 1 2 6 and 6 7 8. And you guessed it, we then go the opposite way. We come back down. 1 2 8 and 1 2 7, 1 2 6 and 5 4 3, 1 2 4 and 1 2 3, 1 2 2 and 3 2 1. I wrote this partly because I'd done, 1 1 2 1, 1 2 3 2 1. I'd done that so many times. I thought I have to do something else. So that's why I wrote this one. So the next bit is a bit like Bar Bar Black Sheep or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. 1 5 6 5 4 3 2 1. Let's try that again. Here we go. 1 5 6 5 4 3 2 1. And then the exciting moment, we go all the way up to 10. Maybe we'll save that for next time. Let's go from A all the way through to the end of C. So nice and slowly, here we go. And 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 6, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 8, and 1, 2, 7. 1, 2, 6, and 5, 4, 3. 1, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Where did I get to? I completely ran out of steam there. 1, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, and 3, 2, 1. Well, there you can see it needs practice. We'll come back to that next time. Let's do because each part fits together and it's quite fun. So you can do that with with a friend. We're going to do now. I don't know. We do one more. Have we got time for one more little bit of warming up stuff, Tori?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just do my. We'll do this. This became for Great British Home Chorus. This became the one that we did every night, and it's just a nightmare. So it's the tune of, and apologies for if international members don't know this tune, but it's Knees Up Mother Brown, and it goes na 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 na. Does everyone know that? Am I getting any thumbs up? A little nod. Yes, we all know that. Almost everyone. Now, what we do is there's a sign here in the UK that says "Danger Men at Work." I don't know why. It's just one of those signs. Danger Men at Work. Apologies to women. It doesn't say women. It says Danger Men at Work. But the important thing is it's 5 syllables, and it goes Danger Men at Work. Danger men at work, 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 and it goes round like that. So I'm sure now that I've explained it so clearly, you'll be able to do it first time. Are we ready? Danger men at work, 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 German at work, German at work, German at work, danger men 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 at work. Hey! Whoa. The trouble with that one is that my mind sort of goes somewhere else, and I start thinking, oh, I wonder what am I doing next, and then I've ruined. Anyway, there we are. So hopefully a little more warmed.
The meditative effects of Danger Men at Work.
Yeah.
Amazing. So speaking of, let's get back to meditative. I think the key things that we need to think about in this piece are the sustained phrases, the long breath, the sort of smoothness of sound. Shall we dive straight in at the start, Gareth?
Let's do that. It would be great to sort of set the scene with this opening section. Well, Tori, would you like to sing us those opening bars?
Yeah, go for it.
Or are we going to do the sing through first, or do you want to just talk about the tone for it?
Why don't we do a sing through? Let's all familiarise ourselves with it. Let's see how far we can get through. Give it a go. This is the first time we'll have sung it all through. We have plenty of time to rehearse, everyone. So if you're looking at the music and thinking, oh no, there's no way I'm going to get this right, do not worry. We have plenty of time. That's what these rehearsals are for. Let's have a go. However, I'm going to start the video at a very important place. And this is something, those of you that are going to record for this project, you're going to have to practice this a lot. And you're going to have to look at my very grumpy face a lot, for which I apologize. I would like you all to practice the 1, 2, 3, 4 clap that has become the grumpiest image in stay-at-home choir. That'll make sense to some of you who are brand new in a second. Make sure you practice the clap. Here we go. Sharing my screen, share sound. I am looking at the little family, Helen Williams and Judith with the starry background, for a big thumbs up so I know you can hear this, please. Here we go. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nailed it. I hope everyone got on okay with that in at the deep end. So I'd like to talk, if it's okay, about the opening and I suppose the end as well, and this very still tone that the Swingles do really well. That's Federica there on the top on the soprano line, and this you are allowed to breathe there, and you are allowed. It is allowed to move. It is allowed to be vibrant, and it should be on a pillow of air. I also feel very strongly that getting the right vowel, like smack in the middle of that, I would play around with that to see if you can get that harmonic to. I don't know. Can you hear that? Am I getting? It wants a kind of it wants like a Jamie's whistling. There's a little. Yeah, we get a little extra note in there. And can you maintain that through... Tori, you're much better at... you'll know more about this with your rigorous choral training. But we want to sort of keep those... Yeah, keep that focus of each vowel really clean. Straight to the ooh, really pure. Pools, e. And the e is very... Not a e, and it's not forward, but e.
I would love to actually take that first vowel that you did, the la, and singing the whole phrase to the same vowel. So if we go la, ko, so, stop. And it's like locos osta, like you're a very posh person saying it's a disaster. That kind of thing. And what you're doing is every time you move, you're closing to the consonant and then you're releasing again. The word that I love, out of your warm-up, you said release. And this is something, it fills into the things that Jamie and I have been talking about. If you've been here before, we say release the breath. All of this terminology is exactly the same as we're using. So remind yourselves of what you've done with us on previous projects. And just go back to that lovely release position. And then when you come back to doing the different vowels, I'm letting that which is the one that Gareth loves the most, that he wants to preserve, I'm letting it inform the other vowels that I sing. So they're all in the same place. So maybe should we try locosisto?
Yeah.
Sure.
Shall I play for that?
Yeah, go on then. I can't sing. But...
Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. What I really like about that next vowel, it's a new vowel, and it kind of really opens up more than because the locus iste, that's a soft end to the word. It's locus iste is the stress, but ade, that should be really really quite bright. Deo fatus est. I mean, my feeling is in rehearsal, just practice singing that quite relatively big and free and released, and then as you come closer to recording, this is about, where everything in the Stay at Home chorus by necessity is for microphones, so it can come right down in dynamic. When I was thinking about the length of the phrase, I thought, actually, if you're going locus here and you're getting rid of all of your air, yeah, that would be a really really tough phrase. But if you are on a good pillow of air that you've taken in, and then you are making a good vowel, locus iste adeo factus est. You could do the whole phrase in one. It's possible.
If it's the way you're singing that.
Sorry?
You said you're so gentle and unfussy with the way you're singing that. We're talking about all this technique, but the core of how that sounds is just so serene.
It's quiet, really small, very not. I don't want big effort. This is domestic singing. This is a piece about your home, and you singing to yourself, locus, in a little quiet prayer. It's not. And sure, later, and I think we're going to look at that later, that it builds to that as if your voice is taken by the Stay at Home choir and transmitted and becomes big. But at the beginning, it's a sort of still small voice. And then at the end, we come back to that with that final phrase. And actually, it settles down on the phrase goes, that last time, it starts on the C. So if we go now to bar 79, it starts, we go back to, so it's more like my intervals warm up again. So it's a bit more rooted. Locus iste adeo factus, and we're back to that slightly sort of reverential kind of, it's been made by God, it's sacred, we've transformed the space. I mean, I was talking earlier with someone about how I don't know if you believe this, but I firmly believe that it works both ways, that the building itself, when you sing in it, takes on some of the qualities of the the music that's made in it. I mean, that might sound like hocus pocus or magic, but I really believe that the music you make somewhere changes the space, and then the space changes you, and the two is a relationship. So that's what the piece is about. So when we come back to that at the end, it's like we've been somewhere holy, even though we're right back here where we started. Tori, where are we going next? Jamie, actually, isn't it? Jamie, what were you? We should talk about that little tricky
that awkward tenor part you've written us.
Yeah.
Let's go there. So we're on page 4, or measure, or bar 33. Let's all sing this one, because this is a tricky little line, but let's work on that legato, that smooth line here. So there's the C tenors. Whichever voice type you are, join me on this tenor line in whichever octave is most comfortable for you. Let's just sing it all the way through first. There's our starting note. Join me on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Locus iste ade. Just there for now. It's quite a long phrase, isn't it? Even I'm losing my breath, and I'm meant to be the professional here. So how do we prep for it? Now, Tori and I are going to wax lyrical, and I'm sure Gareth will as well, about breath preparation. For now, all I'd like you to imagine, since we have Mr. Malone in the room, all I'd like you to imagine is that you are on a BBC TV show. Which BBC TV show? I'd like this to be a children's BBC TV show. The cameras aren't on you yet. You are the presenter. You're presenting to a room of lots of very small children, and you have to be very excited every single time the camera's on you. The camera turns to look at you, and you go, ready to sing. Now, stay-at-home choir members, you're going to be thinking £5 breath already. We'll use that in another rehearsal, shall we? But now, I want you to imagine the camera is turning towards you, and you go, ready to tell your story to this room of very small, very excitable children. Got it? Don't worry, it's all socially distanced. That's the first thing. You're going to breathe well. Every time you sing, we've got to breathe well. Then let's get into the notes. Let's do it one more time, but with that breath. See how smooth you can make this phrase. Gareth used the word pillow a minute ago, and I really like that. This idea of just soft, gentle. I think of this almost like a sung hug. A lot of this piece, I feel. So let's try it one more time. Whichever voice part you are, join me on that tenor line. There's your C. 1, 2, 3. Locus iste ade. Breathe. Take a breath. Get your breath back in. So you'll have noticed at the beginning of this, stagger breathing is your instruction for lots of this. You'll notice those little lines, the slurs and the ties throughout this. All that means is do not breathe. Whatever you do, don't breathe. There are other places you can breathe. Now, staggered breathing, for those of you less familiar with the sort of terminology, all that means is breathe when your neighbour isn't. How do we do that in a virtual choir? Beats me. Think when your neighbour might be breathing, and don't breathe in the obvious places. That's your best bet. But one more thing, then I'll move to Tori for the next point. I'd like to do this staccato. Let's do the exact opposite of what we're meant to be doing for this. We're going to go la o o o ku o si I ste he. What am I doing with this? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm dropping something small.
Kermit.
Each note.
Is it Kermit the Frog?
He's very sad and sleepy if it is.
It is now.
I'm dropping something, or I'm a jellyfish. I don't know what this is, but it was just a movement that worked. For those of you that are less familiar with stay-at-home choir, you will know we love physicalizing our singing. It's helpful just to get rid of any bad tension that doesn't need to be there. Let's try this. Everyone please on that phrase in whichever octave suits you best. Really staccato. Oh, 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 oh. My face is going to look fairly deadpan for the whole of this. Enjoy me looking a bit weird on your TV screens. La. 1, 2, 3, 4. La, oh, 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 ku. Us, I, ste, he. Now, hopefully, it shouldn't feel like your voice is having to go ugh for every single note. That should feel just as smooth as la. If it doesn't, that's what practice is for. Let's try it one more time, then we'll move on to the next one. You've heard me sing it enough times. Now make this nice and smooth, like this pillow, like this hug. Make this a really beautiful line. This is the only movement going on, tempered with the cello. So you're basically duetting with the cellist here. La, everyone in, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. La, così, steade, o factus est. And get your breath back. Hopefully you spotted my stagger breathing. I needed to breathe somewhere.
You're a sneaky one.
I'm a sneaky one. What are we moving on to next, Tori?
Well, I'd actually like to stay in the same place. And for everybody else who's not a tenor, Jamie, would you do us a favour? Would you sing that line one more time? Because I think it would be lovely to have a little go at duetting with you. So sopranos, you're on an A, and then the altos are on an F. Tenors, you've done your little la. I liked to think that was you sort of like gently like plucking the sort of bald head of a small man next to you. That was the image I had in my head. Anyway, so we got A, F, and then F for the basses, and the tenors on the C. So maybe, should we have a little go at cheeky bit of sight reading? Don't worry if this is scary. This is just the first rehearsal. But Jamie, if you do that one more time, we can have a sing through with you, and then we'll look a little bit at the other parts.
Let's go. Do you want me on the tenor part or the bass part, Tori?
Oh, go on the tenor part, because we've heard it now a few times.
La. 1, 2, 3, 4. La, così, steade, o factus est. Notice how loud my ST was on est. Factus est. Tiny. Don't do that choral singer habit that we've all heard choirs do. Est.
No,
Because you've got to be in the right place.
Just a thought about you elided locus, and they put the S of iste right next to the I, which I think is right. I mean, that feels very British choral, doesn't it? I mean, I'm sure that's international, but locus, it's almost siste, but don't think siste.
It does your technique a real favour as well, because a s is a continuation of air. If you think coo-si, it keeps your airflow going. And now sopranos, if you were singing along with Jamie then, you will have noticed that there is a really crucial bit of jiggery-pokery coming up for you here, because you get your la, così, steade, oh my God, stratospheric suddenly. Okay, so for this, I'd like to encourage you, first of all, to keep your airflow going. Secondly, practice it without the words in to start with. Just do it to a loo, 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 loo. And you can put a slide in if you want to help. Everything, nothing is verboten. Everything is fine. Slide up to the top of it to learn it if you want. A little technique that is a little bit of a cheat, but a little bit fun, especially if you're singing and you're sitting at your Zoom screen, which obviously I would never normally advocate for you to sing sitting down. But I've got a little chair here. I'm going to show you if I can get it. Hello, example A. I'm sitting on a chair, proof. If you just gently put your hands underneath the seat of the chair and go, woo, as if somebody has just goosed you off screen, and pull upwards gently on the chair, it engages all of the muscles in your body that Gareth was talking about in the warm-up when we were doing the ha, ha, ha. Little bit of a pull upwards on the chair, and you really feel that engagement. So it looks a bit weird for 812 of us to be doing this. Who knows what's going on off screen, but we're going to go, woo! Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yeah.
And it does help you get sort of through into the upper part of the voice, doesn't it, and manage that transition. My singing teacher used to talk a lot about these latissimus dorsi, that underarm, like squeeze a couple of oranges under your armpits.
I love all these images.
But it gets that kind of, because we feel muscular, but on top of it is this thing that's very beautiful.
We want something to feel totally free. Yeah. Can we have a little go sopranos? You've got la 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 la. That's your little melody. Let's have a little go at singing that just to ooh, 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 ooh. And then I am going to go on and talk about the unison bit, Gareth, that we were discussing. Yeah. So let's go from bar or measure 33. I think it's an A. Let's find out, shall we? Hurrah! Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Loo, loo. Breathe whenever you like. Loo. Get ready to pull. Loo. Loo. Great. All right, well done. You notice I'm taking breaths whenever I like. There are 3,000 of us, so you can guarantee that not everybody will be taking a breath at the same time. And that actually leads me quite nicely onto the unison bit. Yes, Gareth.
I mean, I think we've got similar challenges pitch-wise in that moment as you have in the unison section, because both phrases come back to a similar note, and sometimes with the same vowel and sometimes with not the same vowel, and that's always quite challenging. And I think when you're singing it on Lou, it's fine, but when you get back up to that we want to make sure that that's the same E as the one before, and that the B for factus on bar 39 hasn't dropped down too much. So let's look at that in that main phrase at the tempo, the 56, 57, 58, bar 58. So it's the big money moment for the gentleman here. Page 6, yes. So all of this phrase here, making sure that gets back up is going to be really, really important. Now, in terms of tone, I've said molto legato here. I mean, it's all been pretty legato up till now, but I think I'm thinking of a really sort of quite liquid sound, something that's really like red wine. So we're traveling through each vowel to the next one, and quite rich and quite big and muscular. Jamie, how do you go about being rich and muscular?
I'm not sure I've ever been described as rich, muscular, or with a voice like red wine, but I can do my best.
Of course you have.
Like we all will. I think of this, the thing I noticed when recording this was I had the tendency to want to really shout this out as loud as possible, but I had a microphone this far away and it ended up getting loud and crunchy. Actually, if we ground ourselves, just try sitting down and slouching for a moment, everyone. Some of you will find this easier than others. This I call sort of 3 hours of maths when I was at school, though I was almost asleep by this point. Try singing this line now. Everybody, we've heard the tune. Locus est, to a nice forte. Off we go. 3, 4. Locus est ade. You're all probably squashed. Let's not do any more than that, please. Now, try sitting up. Try the breath that we thought of earlier, where the camera pans round and you've got to look excited. We'll do that all the time. We'll talk about the £5 breath in a future thing, I think, rather than today. But what we've just done by sitting up straight and noticing our posture, if we're stood up, is exactly the same thing. We've given our lungs more space to breathe. As you breathe in, you should be expanding from here. Now, I've been expanding from here because I've eaten a lot of pizza during lockdown, but you should also expand when you breathe in. And it's exactly those muscles Gareth mentioned at the beginning. You should feel these muscles here engage as you start singing. Let's now try it and just see what the difference is. But rather than thinking of singing really loudly, All I'd like you to do is think, I just want that person there at the back of the Albert Hall or whatever. Someone said emptying the Albert Hall, didn't you, earlier? All you want to know is that the person at the back of the Albert Hall can hear you. They don't need to think you are a Wagner opera singer. They just want to be able to hear you. Let's try it from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Locus is Deo factus est. Now I ran out of breath, you probably did as well. I'm not working too hard. There's a big difference between working too hard and working just hard enough. And Gareth mentioned it at the beginning, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I think that's totally the right approach for this section. If you overblow it, then you won't have any energy for the that's not the climax as well. We've got to save something for the double forte at bar 75, measure 75, and on. I think that there's a thing in music, isn't there, about showing the dynamic as well as actually doing the dynamic. So if we're going Locusi, I'm not singing really much louder than Locus that I was doing earlier. The colour is loud. The richness is loud. The depth. I'm experiencing more. I'm not just rubbing myself. I'm experiencing more resonance here in the chest and in the sort of in the torso. But it's a color called loud as opposed to slamming it.
Yeah, I think something that it's also easy to forget when you're sitting on your own or standing on your own recording in isolation is you are not alone. All of that dynamic is not on you and you alone. This is a team effort. You're sharing this sound, and that's what gives it its strength, is that you're sharing it with thousands of people from across the world. So when you're singing this and it's all in unison, just think about that, especially if you're upper voices and you sing second. You know, listen to the guide track. Really imagine as you're recording all of the tenors and basses in their homes across the country singing that beautiful unison phrase to you, and sing it back to them. And that's going to give you that richness and that warmth in your sound without you needing to push it and bear the whole load yourself.
I mean, it's like most things in life, isn't it? The more you go after it, the more it eludes you, I think, a good sound. And if, you know, with this, if it's relaxed and it's open, then it will be all the richer and warmer for it. And I think I do have I put warmly in at one point? I'm sure there's a warmly measure. If not, there should be. I put water.
I'm going to actually shout out. Bianca has just written a nice message here. Maybe feeling your feet being the roots of a very old oak tree underneath the ground still growing. I love that image.
I like that.
I think that's a great image for whenever we sing, regardless of voice part.
Yeah, is it the Pumos? So we've got bar 41. That's the time to become that oak tree and to start letting the vowels. If we think of the vowels being sort of like a lake. So at the beginning we're just seeing the sort of the glinting light, the upper harmonics. We're listening for that whine and that harmonic. But afterwards, we want to sort of look into the depths and the color of the vowel, and that's enough, because the dynamics are in the arrangement and are in the piece and the cello and then all of that. And actually, as long as you're there, just giving it the right color and the tone, that matters much more to us as people who are then going to mix all your voices together than an actual, because we can always turn you up. Right, you can always turn that's easy, and with technology, you can always turn someone up. But what we can't do is change the color that you've delivered to something heartfelt, to something spiritual or soulful, or to something beautiful, like a beautiful tone. So it's much better to deliver something that is, a little bit softer, but is a lovely color and has a depth to it than just to hammer it. Yeah.
This seems like a perfect opportunity to have our end of rehearsal sing through. But before we do that, I just want to give everybody a few things to think about as we sing through this. Now, this is the first rehearsal. It's intended to be a getting to know you session and a familiarization of the piece. What we do know is that lovely main hook. If you're not a music reader and you're a little bit daunted by the idea of having a sing through, sing the melody whenever you hear it along with the track as we sing it through now. Engage with it in whatever way you like. If you want to just get to know it better, just listen. All of that is absolutely fine. If you're a super switched on music reader and you want to have a go at it, have a go at it. Really let fly. I'll be scanning through the gallery view, as I imagine Jamie and Gareth will as well, and looking at everybody having fun. But we're not judging you. It's all about getting to know the piece yourselves.
I know, and Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm sure you'll have experienced this on all your singing projects and in choirs in general. You always start in one place and you end somewhere completely different with a piece. And the great joy of singing, I think, is then to come back to it a year later and sing it, and it means something completely different, or it's sort of bedded in. So no, don't never ever expect to be good at the beginning.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's enjoy it.
Enjoy.
I will. I've got my score here.
The usual request, make sure you practice the clap. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
See
Oh, well, that was very good. I had a good look through. I was appreciating lots of engaged faces. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Well, thanks so much for coming to our very first rehearsal for Lock Assist Day. We're at the start of the journey, guys. If it all seems a little daunting, get your ears stuck into those learning tracks. And we will see you tomorrow for sectionals. We're doing upper voices and lower voices. We will go through the notes. We will answer your questions. And we will see Gareth again next week. Gareth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's really exciting. I've seen so many people singing your piece. That's never happened to me before, so that was really special.
Brilliant.
Well, let's hope we do it justice. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to watch this back, you can watch it again on YouTube. And if you can't make a rehearsal like the sectionals tomorrow, please don't worry. You can catch up anytime you like. So do not panic. It is lovely to have you all here. We will see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Really enjoyed it.
You've not done a stay home bye before. This is going to go on for a while. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you so much. Fabulous. Thank you very much.